Now, other baseball news, so we can get out of that topic. We're going to stay still in the AL East. A top tier type pitcher is moving out of the AL East.
Top tier.
Well, no, he's still, in my opinion, when he's on, he still is a top tier pitcher. If you want to consider that, okay. Yeah. Chris Sale was traded out of Boston to the Atlanta Braves, and a part of the deal, the Braves are trading their infield prospect Vaughn Grissom to Boston, and Chris Sale then is going to Atlanta, and Boston is going to help pay a certain amount of money. Sale signed a 5-year, $145 million contract with the Red Sox. Now he goes to Atlanta. As we all know, they're all in. And quite frankly, they didn't think that Vaughn Grissom was in a position to help their team moving forward. And the Braves have already won. They were the top team in the American League. They feel that a healthy Chris Sale can put them even more over the top. And when he is healthy, he can still be one of the best pitchers in baseball, Zach. I know I'm not saying top tier, top shelf of what he was.
Well, I mean, he's still,
but he can.
Yeah. No, there's no denying he's still got his strikeout stuff is still insane. If he wants to go out there and strike out 12 guys, he can. So, yeah, no, if he's healthy, it is a very nice addition for the Braves. But, you know, we kind of got into it while we're bringing it up. It kind of means something else a little bit for maybe something people in Baltimore are a little more interested in.
The reason why I wanted to bring it up, Boston is moving on, but also the reason why the Braves made this move, because they were trying to bolster their pitching staff, it probably means that they aren't going to make a move for, I don't know, a pitcher named Dylan Cease, which has been a hot topic for Baltimore Orioles fans. But it does make me think, and we already knew this, but the Chicago White Sox are going to be asking for a lot. Now, Vaughn Grissom is a very good player, and he has little experience up there in the big leagues, and they already made the choice he was not going to be their everyday guy. He can be a foundational piece for the Boston Red Sox moving forward. But that's one player. For a guy, for Chris Sale, where he's still on an all-star caliber level, but maybe towards the back end. Now think about a guy in his prime in Dylan Cease, who you have team control over. The Chicago White Sox have a high price, and I know Orioles fans are thinking, we have so many prospects, but Zach, I don't think it's going to be as easy to say that, hey, we're just going to give these guys all up, because in my opinion, this might not be what Oriole fans believe, but the Orioles are not exactly where the Braves are right now as far as a team. And that's no knock to them. That's just the reality.
I don't think it's a knock to them at all. I mean, the Braves are where I think the Orioles are going to be in 2-3 years. They're at the point where it's no longer, okay, let's see where we have with these prospects. Let's see how they fit into our long-term plan. The Braves are on the point where they're like, these are our guys. How can we get more proven talent to put around these guys to go try to win 2-3 World Series? And so while the Orioles are maybe looking, I don't think the Orioles would ever make a move for a guy like Sale solely because of, age right now, where if the Orioles are going to give up prospects, they want it to be for someone like a Dylan Cease, who's on the younger side. He has years of control. I think that's more likely, and that's where the Orioles are, where they're still trying to add legit top-line talent, but age and how long they're with them is going to play a factor. Whereas with Atlanta, how can you help us this year? If we can get help this year, that's what they want to do.
Here's my thoughts on this. And if we go back to the trade deadline last year, talked to Jeremy on here, he was a scout for the Astros, about what the White Sox were actually asking for Dylan Cease. And there were some rumors flying around about Jackson Holiday, and that was the kind of caliber trades they were looking for a Dylan Cease. And we talked about how like that was not going to happen, and you almost kind of have to wonder if like the White Sox are perhaps asking too much for Dylan Cease. And now that we're 6 months removed from that, have the White Sox organization kind of reevaluated their expectations on what they're going to get for Cease, or not? Are they just not going to budge on that? I would love to hear what you think about this, because if that's the case, then maybe the Orioles will give away some prospects that I don't think we've talked about the untouchables here on the show before. Obviously, Jackson Holiday is one of those, Kobe Mayo, Kerstad, some of those, but there's definitely enough on the farm that I think you could say, okay, here's this cluster of guys we're going to give you, build on these, and we'll take Dylan Cease off your hands. Or is it more likely that White Sox are going to dig their heels in and say, no, we want top tier prospects for Dylan Cease.
My opinion on this, Mike Elias and Sig Mejdal helped construct this, right? And this is a vision. This is something they've worked on. And yes, they have this next draft upcoming where they're going to have another draft pick near the top of the draft because of Gunnar Henderson winning Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, they have 3 first-round picks.
So you are stockpiling picks, but just because you're stockpiling doesn't mean you want to make sure that you have worked hard to put your team in a position. And it starts with the farm. You can say it's nice to go out and spend, and teams that spend more money, do they win? Sure, I get it. But look also what the Braves have. The Braves have developed some very good players, and then they signed some guys.
Yeah.
Yes, but that is the reality. And the Orioles right now, they're ahead of schedule, and they're trying to figure out the long-term plans here. So personally, I don't see Elias budging. He's going to keep it at his list, and he is not going to overvalue. Did everyone see that Lucas Giolito deal that just happened a couple days ago? It was 2 years, 38.5 million, and it has an option to or opt out after the first year. But Lucas Giolito, solid pitcher, had a rough last year and a half, but solid pitcher got $19.5 million. That's showing you how inflated the free agent market is. And so for the Orioles, they're looking at it and going, we're not going to overpay for this. Now, I will point this out. I think at the Orioles, the deadline in July, this season, they're playing well. They might push the envelope more because they probably have a better idea of who they have in their system and what they want to do. But if the deal isn't right, they are not going to alter that. That's just my opinion. And quite frankly, I think the Orioles, Zach, have some really good pitchers that are already on their team. I think people forget that Kyle Brash and Grayson Allen could arguably be the best one. Sorry, not Grayson Allen. Grayson Rodriguez and Kyle Brash could be the best 1-2 punch in the AL East or in the entire American League.
Yeah, I mean, the talent is still there. I mean, then you have guys like John Means is coming back. We saw Kramer. We've seen Wells. Hell, DL Hall has shown some incredible moments, and, they've said they might look at him as a starter. So, yeah, there is talent. Oriole fans aren't going to want to hear it, but if a move is not made, it won't be the end of the world because there are still great the Orioles still have a lot of talented players and pitchers at the starting rotation. So while it is the biggest need for the team, it's not like it is a massive hole. I would like for them to get another frontline guy because Dylan Cease, Kyle Bradish, and Grayson Rodriguez as a 1 through 3. There are not many teams that are beating that. And
then, so I mean, obviously, yes, a healthy John Means would do wonders for the squad. There's no doubt about that. And I agree. Dean, friend of the program as well. Dean Kramer he's a dude. Guy. He's a guy when he's on, he can go out there and shut down any lineup. So this is more of it'd be a nice thing to have for the Orioles, but they're in great position. I want people to understand that, and they will do what they think's appropriate. But also with these young guys, you just found out in the last year by not making too many moves that Kyle Bradish was an ace. Yeah. Remember that. You found that out, and you allowed Grayson Rodriguez then to come up and prove that he is a guy that can also be a frontline starter as well, a possible ace. So be patient.